I'm here on the front lines, and I'm not sure if my co-host Tank will join us here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. And the reason that I don't know if Tank will be here is because my internet, have still having internet issues. I'm working off of a hotspot, and it basically lost its load, so I'm not able to I did not receive the call from Tank. He said he'd call, and then, so it didn't come through, and by the time I realized it, then I was like, oh, it's really late. So, but you know, we'll just, I did send a message to Sid, and we'll see if Tank can make it on. But in the meantime, we'll just proceed and see what we come up with. So, one of the things I'd like to just do is do a commercial interruption, saying, "Do you know about gold coins?" That's what I feel like saying. Because I've been doing the gold grain coins and having you know, explaining the different aspects of it from a point of view from the people that I'm currently I have a group. We have about let's see, roughly around maybe 3,000 affiliates that have joined, and so we're you know, there's a way you explain it to people that are, it's kind of along the lines of affiliate, what an affiliate needs to know. What are the basics? What do they need to do to take it, right, and move it? So I did a video with someone last night, because you know, they had their commission, right, and so they were happy. So we're talking about different things that are coming up, and they want to use his commissions to get more coins, which is fine. It's a great way to go, but he was asking, what are the main points to make it easy for people to understand? And I said, well, number one, it's just like having gold in your phone, right? It's like getting gold, because it just tracks whatever gold's doing. It's going to do exactly the same thing. So it's virtual gold. Some people don't like the term virtual, and other people say, oh yeah, that's a good way of putting it, gold in your phone. So if you think gold is going to go up over the years, and you want to hold on to it because you know it's going to hold value, that you can get these gold grain coins. We just call them grains. So get your grains. The other is, it's where in a trading environment, you need a safe place to store your value while there's wild fluctuations. Usually when you think it's going to go down, so where am I going to put this? I don't want to lose everything I just gained. So you can move it into the grains. That way, though it has some fluctuations with gold, they're not wild swings, and there's a tendency for it to go up along the way. So the other is that this is a very good way of using it to exchange, to barter, right? You exchange these grains for other things of value. Now, this is something we're just starting to build out. So the first things you'll be able to build, use the grains for is in an auction. And we're working on that site right now. So the auction site is underway. So we'll see how that all ferrets out. But this is the main reason to get grains. So, all right. Now, how much is it? It's about the same as a cup of Starbucks coffee, venti size, large cup. So if you want to get that, just go ahead and contact me. You can send me an email if you like. My email information is down below, or there's a link down below in the description of this video. And if you need any help, I'll explain more about it and how to get it. Actually, and for WWG1, WGA.love, we're going to have memberships set up, which will include some gold grain coins. And it looks like Tank made it. Well, I guess he's setting up. We hear the sound effects.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. Well, I'm so glad. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh my goodness. Here I am doing a show with no audio. Wait a second. Hello.
There we go.
You know, I just was doing this whole opening and everything. No audio. So I had a user malfunction. Hold on here. Of course. So what's going on, Tank?
Hey, man. You live? You getting ready to go live?
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
I was doing the show, not realizing I didn't have my audio on.
So it's just been you miming for a while?
That's it. I've been miming, off of this. And it was such a good opening too.
That happens. Well,
it's all right.
That's a sign from God. Do not do your show without Tank.
That's it. Yeah, see. But well, how's it going, Tank? We'll just start. Wait. We're here. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here with my co-host
Tank.
And we're here on the front lines doing the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How's it going, Tank?
Well, pretty good. Got some really amazing reports pouring in, and put together some really exciting instructional videos to start the ARM, courtroom observation program, and it looks like pretty soon we'll actually be able to fund that as well. So I'm pretty excited about that because you should be able to hopefully piece together all those things and be able to provide a whole bunch of jobs. Probably by the end of March, have a fully operational reverse governing system in place for the United States. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's pretty amazing. Now, I'll just say, are you glad you've had 1 year of experience doing video for your doing it? Now you can do training videos to tell people how to do things with this new Lawful America project.
I am. I've always done promotional videos and stuff. Like I've made those for years. My company, we had a lot of, I would do the whole presentation that way, right? But I never knew how to get my own video like this. So thank goodness I've done this now. I'm so much more comfortable doing this. I've got other people that are starting with their own podcasts and stuff. They want to, so I'm kind of coaching them through it and actually teaching people now. So it's great. I always love when you get to be able to, help other people out. So yes, Dan, thank you so much for pushing me over that cliff. I wouldn't have done it without you.
Well, thanks. So, and every day I get better at it, except for when I, stumble and fall on my mic.
Yeah, when you introduce a new mic, right? Many a times I'm talking and I can't tell if people can hear me or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you came on and said something. But it's all right. I was just doing a commercial for gold grain coins. And again, people, the idea why you should have them. If you want to get gold because you think it's going to go up, get gold grain coins. You can use it for long-term holding of value, or through market fluctuations. You need a safe place to move them into. That's our stable coin, gold grain coins, grains for short. Contact me if you like. There's a promotional video, right?
I like it. Yeah, that's good though. Actually, I think that's a really good selling piece.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I can get X22 or some of the other, others out there to say, hey, you can get a hold of these and add them to your repertoire for your your sponsorship. Yeah, that'll work out. So, any word from Kim?
Uh, not not that I can really share yet, but word from Kim that I can't share, but it looks like things are moving in a very positive direction very very quickly, and I know that she did push some tests, and she was able to bypass all the pieces and get them directly into accounts, right? And it looks like, but the bank still hasn't credited. So, but regardless, that test looks good. So,
Okay.
And I actually got that from another source in the government first before Kindle. So that's good because that means that it's out there. And it was, something that was just like, it wasn't like somebody so high up or anything, right? It wasn't like I talked to my deep, deep source, somewhere. It was somebody, high enough, but not that high. So that's good. That's really good news. That means that it's something that everybody can see.
Oh, that's good.
Which is this. Yeah, this is something that where, basically in the beginning, when I started all this, what she told me is what they said to her, now they being, I don't know, government, deep state, whatever, they said when you do it, once you do it first, you get one transfer through in the United States, and everything else will fall. They said they'll cooperate, right? Well, I was with her on the phone when we got that transfer to go through, right? To a veteran down in Florida, and they had the FBI burst in and misdirect the fake. It was a fake FBI, right?
Yeah.
It was mercenaries pretending to be the FBI, and they busted in and they tried to revert the money to the Chicago Mercantile, the Obama group up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is so interesting,
Well, it just goes to show that we really are talking about two different governments, and we keep thinking we have one government. I'm realizing
that's true.
I'm realizing that there's literally two governments. Even in what we call the bureaucracy, the government and the people that go to work every day, they think they're working for the United States. They don't know about the cabal issues and that they're just, middle management and whatever. They don't know at the top level that these guys all are participating in another government for their democracy, their country, and they have their FBI and they have their Langley 2, Langley 3, Langley 4 divisions of the CIA that they're out doing things as though they are the one government, and they're not. They're a rogue.
This is what it reminds me of. Okay, there is these temporary office spaces you can get, right? And when you go in, there's there's a front desk person,
Mm-hmm.
Administrative assistants, right? And you basically use an office like this is all one corporation, right? But in every office could be a different business, right? And they all use the same administration people, right?
Yes.
But you could have two competing businesses side by side, right?
Yes.
And they come out to the same person, right? And all the people beneath, this perverse, hierarchy, and then on the other side, let's say it's the good guys on one side, the bad guys on the other. They're both using the same admin people. That's basically what it comes down to.
So let me extend this a little bit. So let's say you came into that a virtual office space, right, where you get to you share space and use and the receptionist in the front says, "Oh, here, sign this. This is your sign up form, right?" So you go through it. And you say you fill in your name, the company name, your details, right, and you sign at the bottom. But at the very bottom is a very tiny little print that says, "Oh, we own your business. We own everything you do, and you have to follow all of our rules, or we're going to basically take everything from you, and we're going to throw you in jail." And okay, so you sign that, right, and you're off doing your business, right, and then they come up with you're in the middle of a meeting, and they come in and say, "Oh, by the way, the new rule is you have to take a break every 15 minutes, right, and leave this room." in the middle of the meeting. And you say, they're going to forget that, right? who's gonna listen to that stupid law, right? And,
Right.
and then after 15 minutes, you don't come in and say, okay, you're out of here. It's our business now, and we're changing the rule back so that we can sit here with your customers and take everything. Yeah, it's as ridiculous as that is.
It's just ridiculous as that. Yeah, it really. That is the what's so funny is like now here I mean the whole idea like in Black's Law I think it actually defines government is all governments are fiction, right? They are a group of ideals by which a group of people assembled together agrees to operate by, right? This is the governing rules, right? But they're really just ideas, right? That's all the government is. It's an idea, right? So if ever, the more serious we take them, the more paperwork you add, the more you cement them into the third dimension, so to speak, right? And the more they become, this overwhelming entity like grief or something, right? It's like, and that's just kind of what the government becomes. But it's really just a set of ideas that we all agree to live by, right? And that's why it was so amazing. It's like, well, the Constitution, right, has teeth to it, right? It's this incredible ideology of freedom, right? And I love this. The people were talking about the one place left to escape it to, the last call of the free world that Reagan was talking about the other day, is still the newest idea in government is still the United States of America, or republic, right? Because at least there's a place for freedom and the individual expression of creativity, the natural expression of God or source, or just our sovereign rights as individuals is valuable, right? When we're allowed to make up our own mind, have our own choices, and as you really to boil everything down about what the core ideology is, it is you're free, and as long as you don't do anything to hurt other people, right? I mean, if you really wanted to simplify it, right, that's something we can all kind of get by and say, yeah. But the government has actually changed that in a sense, right? The shadow government that's been controlling things is we need to control everything. We need to control everything so that they don't realize they're free.
Right.
And we're willing to hurt as many people as necessary.
Right. And that is it. That literally they are going to, but they're convincing that they have the better system within their group, right? They think that they're doing the right thing. Because the people cannot, obviously govern themselves. They're not intelligent enough. They're not able to go ahead and put in perspective everything that we know that's really going on here. So they justify it, right? They're discarding all of our rights, right? They just totally discard them. Say, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to take care of them. Right. It's more about that nanny state. About they're going to take care of the herd. It's their plantation. They want to make sure that all the cattle are fed to their specifications. Oh, by the way, our cattle are getting a little fat. No more salt for them. Let's get rid of the sugar too. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and give them these protein crackers?
Yeah, it's so fascinating. It's like think about learning in general, right? Like just how we learn as people. With kids, it's the core of learning really is problem solving, right? So the idea would be that you need a problem to express your highest level of learning via problem solving, right? Now I'm sure that's overgeneralizing it,
sure.
But if you just look at that principle, right? So you can appreciate that, even as a parent, right? You might let your child go through something where they're not really going to get hurt, right? But you'll let them go through something, just I don't know, having a bad relationship, right? Like you don't want to see your child get hurt, but you'll let them go through it so they learn a lesson, right?
It's kind of like the adolescents that are just starting to walk, right? Or they're just tottering around, right? And you want to catch them before they fall, right? But at the same time, you want to let them fall so they can catch themselves. Right, and
absolutely.
So, there's an aspect, but we're not toddlers, right? We're actually have our own independent ideas and thoughts and freedom to express and to pursue happiness. And it's not for them to decide, Well, here's our problem. We want everyone to do it our way and only our way, where we're in control and they're going to do it, right? Because they're not really putting in those terms, to themselves, right? But they're going to. This is their problem. So how are we going to get them to do everything we want, right? That's the problem they try to solve, right? And they create bigger problems to hurt. So they'll set a fire over there to cause the herd to go over this way, right? So, gun violence. We need to get mind control and psychology involved, and get people to actually take certain drugs, and then sit down with a psychologist that are our psychologists, and have them go off, right, like a little bomb, and they go off and they shoot people.
Yep.
Then we can say, hey, look, gun violence. This is crazy. They're going into a mall. There's a lot of open people there.
We got to address this, right? We got to address this right away.
Yeah.
That's why the big buildup, right, has been all these massive problems. Like even now, it's so funny. Like Candace Owens was talking about this. She was saying, before it was global warming is going to destroy us in 12 years. Then it was because President Trump took out Soleimani, it's going to be World War III. And now it's the coronavirus, right? The coronavirus is going to kill us all. And President Trump got up today and talked about, just so nonchalant, right? He's done everything exactly right with the coronavirus, right? And he gets up and he goes, he's talking about the coronavirus. He's like, we want to allocate this much money, and whatever they decide is fine. Like he's not fighting them, right? They're trying to make it a fight as if he didn't do his job.
Right.
But he's like, no. He's like, $4.5 billion, $8.5 billion, whatever they want to use. And then he just kind of throws his stat out there. He goes, the flu kills approximately 25 to 69,000 people a year. Right. And he said the coronavirus right now, we have 15 people in the United States who have the coronavirus. 14 of them are well on their way to recovery, and one person is in kind of bad shape.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the extent. And so imagine.
Yeah.
They want to take $8.5 billion to do what?
Right.
And I would say probably what they want to do, and they think they're clever, right, is they want to invest a bunch of money to pretend that they're creating a corona vaccine, when in fact they already have a corona vaccine, right? And so they're going to put that money in, and then they're going to use that to try to create some other distraction, right? Filter money off to the CDC. And really, now the whole system, the KIM system, is just monitoring everything. So as they go to try to do something corrupt, it's like, okay, we monitor exactly what you did. Here it is. Here's your path of crime that led this back to Nancy Pelosi's bank account, right?
Right. That's why they get so excited when they get a lot of money to spend. It's because it's going to end up in their own accounts, and it's literally all the Democrats. It's literally all of them. They're all on the pay line, even if they don't even know, because they get money from the DNC or from certain PACs for their elections, right? So that's part of it as well. They get funded that way because they can't get money elsewhere because their ideas suck.
Well, their ideas suck, yeah, and then they're used to doing this.
The people that like their ideas have no money.
Right.
So they need money from somewhere, right?
Yeah. They're trying to play video games and get high. Yes, I don't know. But sorry, that's an overgeneralization. But it's funny. Kim explained it to me a long time ago. Like one of the things we don't talk about with the the dividend system, right, is what they would do is they would take every dollar that came in that was asset backed by the trust, right, and they would divide it into 10,000 parts. So you got to think, if you're getting $8.5 billion from the trust that comes into the economy, $8.5 billion is a tremendous amount of money, and you can virtually solve so many more problems than people would realize, right? Because it's so much more valuable than what we're used to, right? Because they divided it up by 10,000 parts, right? That's why they would have all this excess money. Now that's what they're used to being able to do, but because they can't do that anymore, it's ignorant on their part to even think they're going to win when they do this, because they think they're going to be able to divide the money up into much larger parts, and they'll be rolling it and be able to make huge, horrible decisions, right? Because if you have enough money, you just throw money at it, you can do things like that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what they're used to.
Yeah.
Like we're used to making really bad decisions and throwing a lot of money at it, and then that fixes our problem.
Right, and that gives us money in our bank accounts.
Right, and they can, and then on top of that, it's like you're only giving people, their whatever it is you think they're worth, right? Now, this happened to me when I was right out of college. I took a job. I was managing a gym at Valley Total Fitness, and it was privately owned. They owned like 6 gyms, and they would have this meeting. And my boss was actually really cool, and he would sit in this meeting. So he told me how they were all sitting around this meeting, and they were talking about how to take our commissions, right? And they said, look, and they used me as an example. They said, somebody like Stephen, he'll be fine as long as he takes home this much money in his paycheck, right? And so they decided what I was going to make. So no matter how well I did, I always made the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And they just continued to do that to me. But my boss ratted them out. Right? So, and I was like, what? But I mean, in hindsight, I realized that was my first conscious experience with the cabal, right? Of how they think.
Yeah.
Is that they're just going to manage things. They're going to manage you
Yeah.
and decide.
They know better.
Dictate what you're worth.
They know
Right.
better. And by the way, we're going to charge you for doing the thinking for you.
Right.
Everything, everything we take from you, we're just going to charge you up to that amount. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, but we're giving you health care, we only take $100 a week out of your paycheck for it. Right? So.
No. And then we try to use the health care. I have a $100 copayment?
Yeah, right. It seems like if this was a cash business, it wouldn't be so hard. But
yeah. Which is what it should be, really. So
yeah, it should be.
I would say back to what Trump giving this speech about the coronavirus and this and one of the things that also was there. I saw this clip of Nancy Pelosi, who basically said, "Well, we gave them money for the Ebola, right? And they didn't use it all, right?" And she's upset that Trump wants to use that for Ebola, for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Right? So, so it was just one of those things. It's like, what are you upset with him about? Not taking enough money from you, but when he tries to use the money that was already for Ebola for this because you don't need it for Ebola anymore, you're upset. So why?
Well, and if you read the tea leaves too, like remember I was talking about this, how there was an outbreak of 3 Ebola cases allegedly in New York City, and there's in '99 they're going to set up these concentration camps with this bill. So they were setting it up to have an Ebola outbreak in New York, right, New York State, and probably elsewhere around the country, but let's just say in New York State, right? So they were setting that up. So obviously, because they're not able to manipulate the finances the way they have in the past, they probably only used $500 million, right? So when they first asked for it, so they allocated $5 billion. So they probably used $500 million for Ebola, safety. So what happens? So when they first come out, the number is $4.5 billion. Then they have to claim that Trump didn't do his job, didn't put enough money into it. So now it's got to be $8.5 billion. Why? Because what they need is $4.5 billion, right? That's what they need. But they weren't going to get it because the money was going to be actually used. $4.5 billion. Oh yeah, we'll put that towards the coronavirus. Sure. And Trump's so casual about it. People think it should be, urgent scare tactic, but he's like, it's not that. And people are still feeding into it, right?
Sure.
The alternative media and mainstream media, they're all still feeding this, right?
Yeah, because most of them don't really realize the plan at that level. It's that deep. They really. It's hard to think of the satanic part of this, right? People that are good people, they can't even imagine how other people think in this satanic world that's there, right? Where they really want to cause harm. They want to put people into concentration camps for many reasons, right? To show their power over them, to get them, and then once you're in those camps, how are you getting out? You're not.
Well,
you want to eat? Well, you got to work. Oh, let's rename these gulags. Yeah, and by the way, here's your re-education materials.
Right. Here's your reintegration if you're going to reintegrate into society, you must do the following, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's all pretty fascinating, you know. I mean, from that perspective to watch it, because you're actually seeing it fall apart.
oh yeah, and all of the you know, I remember because Weinstein went down, right, and then now we have all these CEOs that are retiring. Now there is a connection between Disney and Weissman, and so and with that CEO that stepped down and Epstein. So this is it's obviously this chain reaction. There is something happening. There are people being arrested. There are people going to jail, and they're high profile. But it isn't, you know, mass arrests yet, right? And it's now they have someone, you know, the Trump put into place to drain the swamp, right? To find all of the rest of the Obama holdovers, the never Trumpers, and remove them. That's a job, and it's a temporary job. And when he's done, he's out of there, right? He's the cleanup team. He's the Drano guy, right? He's coming in. He's pouring the Drano all around the tub, and he's got his brush out, and I guess I meant Comet, you know, Comet cleaner. I said Drano. You need both.
Comet.
You put the Drano down the drain and you just clear it because it's got some gunk in it already, you know. So. And you got to, you know, go ahead. So he's gonna, and 2 months from now, these people are all gone, right? And in the meantime, more CEOs stepping down. In the meantime, you know, Roger Stone getting a new trial. Everything is in reverse now, right? It's all in reverse, and it's slowly building team. You know, like when a locomotive starts, right? You can see, you know, on the tracks, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a push to try and get over and get the wheels to start chugging, right? And they make one move and then another move and then another move and then another move and then they go faster and faster. So this is what we're seeing. We're already seeing things starting to roll the other direction, and they're just going to get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, it's really amazing. You know, actually now it's exciting, and it's the first time where I can see personally where I feel comfortable. Like, yeah, it feels like we're really in the driver's seat, really making progress, right?
Right.
And what a job that has been done by you know, by Q and the Anons and just the collective community to keep people's spirits up. And this is it's not a small thing to witness these things going on, and to stay in the fight, you know, and really believe and not give way to the overwhelming urge to be like, you know, just to kind of be like typical. They got away with it again, you know.
Yeah.
And
well, it's
really
because,
see that.
you know, because it's the programming, right? People just fall back into it. The fear programming, whatever. All like the coronavirus. Here was one. Breitbart put out an article. San Francisco declares coronavirus emergency. And they have a whopping 0 confirmed cases. But they're declaring an emergency, right? They've declared an emergency in San Francisco. Why?
Oh my gosh!
Right? Are they claim all the homeless out there have coronavirus, and we got to now round them all up? That's Nancy Pelosi's plan to fix her homeless problem.
Jeez. Right. That's So she'll get a bulk of that money and be able to pretend to help.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So
0 cases.
A whopping 0. A whopping 0. Because why would you declare an emergency if there is not even one instance, right? Other than to create fear, get people to go along with it, right? They want to get people to take the vaccine so badly. They want people to take the vaccine. Of which, here's something else about that vaccine. I listened to this yesterday. It was pretty well detailed by the people that actually are inventing the vaccine. And he went through the process. He said, a year to a year and a half from now, we'll have a vaccine. Even if we start testing,
Really?
yeah, even if we start testing now, because we have something, we have one candidate that looks good, right, as a vaccine. And going through the testing process, we'll have 40 people, and after we go through this work, then we'll open it up to hundreds of people, or to thousands of people in controlled studies. And then even after that, after it takes a couple 3 months to know whether or not it actually is effective and there's no harm to the people. He made a reference to saying and we know that there's no harm to the people. Right, and then after that, then we go into the next procedure, right? And so a year to a year and a half from now, we'll have a vaccine. So when this and we expect that, as with all flus, they come back the next year. So yeah, we might be ready next year for this, but we have this other drug that is an antiviral that we're testing right now, and it should be ready right away. Not a vaccine.
Oh, wow.
Not a vaccine.
That's very interesting, yeah.
All right.
That's very
And he named it too. I wish. Oh, you know what? I should have actually just took note of the name, because he went. but he named it, and so that was kind of interesting that they're just downplayed the vaccine and say, oh, but we've got a cure. It's not a vaccine. Right? So it's actually something that's going to attack a virus. Now, antivirals are not really out there like antibiotics, right? Antibiotics, they go after bacteria, right? Antivirals, there's not really much out there, right? Oh, you got a virus? Here's some chicken soup and get into bed, rest, have fluids, yeah. Take whatever, your symptoms are to, mask, make you more comfortable, and just, get through it. That's what you do with viruses, right? You just,
Ride them out, yeah.
Yeah, ride them out.
Well, what's interesting is the Dr. Rima, right? She described how when there was the Ebola outbreak in the Congo, which I happen to know directly that was fabricated, right? Intentionally to test a new strain of Ebola, right? That they went out to the Congo and they took nano silver. And they were using nano silver, and they literally cured thousands, like 17,000 people, right? I don't know if that's exact number, but it's somewhere in that world, right? And I don't know if it's the FDA or the CDC of the Congo, basically banned them from bringing in any more nano silver, right? So it's like, wait, what?
What?
Why on earth? That was curing people and you stopped it, right? Because think about it, it was messing up their statistics, right? They wanted to see what they could do, in all likelihood, something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of impact will it have if we do this? And so in doing that, it's like, hey, you stop curing people, you're messing us up, right?
Yep.
So that's, so all that is just so fascinating when you really think about it, because we put our life in these people's hands all the time. One of our people was talking about it, who just recently had a grandbaby, right? And she raised her kids with absolutely no drugs, right? No vaccines. They grew up perfectly healthy. They were raised holistically, and now, her daughter has a child, right? And the mother who works with us, she's adamant about, don't vaccinate. What are you doing? Better. And the daughter's like, well, I believe my doctor, right? It's like, but why? I mean, and it's amazing how hard it is.
It is. I mean, I had to do with my daughter. She's still, she's trying to she's listening, but to her, well, I'll take a middle of the road approach, and I'll just give a couple of vaccines at a time, spread them out, right? And because I want them to go to school, right? And so I get what she's saying, and I'm saying, don't send them to school. You know, I said, move out of California. You know, if it's what, but don't vaccinate because it's going to be you're going to likely cause harm to the child, to my grandchildren. But it's how do you overcome that, right? Um, I gave her some solutions and she didn't take them, right? So I don't know how to overcome that, right? Because they're just they want I, you know maybe it's because I'm not living there. I'm living here, right? And so I'm not been polluted by everything going on in California. No, one of the good things, I remember one day when I went back first. I only went back one time to the States, and when I went through immigration, they were saying, "Well, why are you away so? Or why are you not?" He says, "I'm coming. Why are you not back?" I said, "Well, I'm living living with my wife, and so why don't you come back?" He's asking questions like, "I don't know." I said, "Chemtrails." I said, "Chemtrails. That's the reason." Well, literally, why do I want to get poisoned? You know, um, why do I want to live in an environment that is constantly sending poison over my head? Now, of course, it's in the food and everything else. And I'm not saying that there's no chemtrails here at all, right? Every once in a while, I'll see a chemtrail. Maybe like twice in a year, and I really don't get why, right? But it does happen. Are you still there, Tank? Tank? Hmm. Hello, Tank. Well, we might have lost him. Are we still broadcasting? Apparently. All right. So, anyway, I'll keep going for a little bit. See if Tank joins us again. Um, let's see. Well, we'll probably can also make this a shorter episode. I do have to take another trip. That's again another reason why I needed to go early today. Um, and I appreciate Tank for jumping on. And we always have good topics to cover. There's so much going on that taking little bites out of the elephant seems to knock down the elephant a bit. So we'll keep going with that. I would again, if people are interested in jumping in and getting gold grains as we call them, just like having gold in your phone. It's on the blockchain. We use the Tron blockchain, one of the fastest in the world, and Tron is in the top 15 of all cryptocurrencies. It's floating between 10 and 15, right? And it's much faster than all the ones up at the very top, except for Ripple. Ripple's faster, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get into the technical talk. It's part of what I do is train people on cryptocurrency as well and let people know about that. So, but well, our gold ring coins, they track the price of gold. So whatever gold does, these do. They're matched, right? And we actually, our process is to basically get 1 grain of gold for each gold grain coin. And a grain is the smallest unit of gold that they have as a measure. So there is grams and there's grains. So grains are about a little more than 14 grains make 1 gram, right? Or 480 grains to the ounce. So so it's really about the same value as a cup of coffee, a Starbucks venti size. So if you want to see what that value is, and if you'd like to get them, my link is down below, and my contact information is down below. I'll be happy to walk you through that. Also on the wwg1wga.love website, I'm going to be adding some memberships there that will include some free grains, and that will help you get a hold of them in a way that also helps contribute to the broadcast and the other things that we're doing. So, but anyways, if you're interested, please contact me, and we'll. I got to make this into some sort of like polished commercial, right? Put this out, put it at the beginning and the end of the show or something like that. Hey, and get into that aspect. But that's part of the broadcast experience. Like Tank and I were talking about training people on doing broadcasts. I've done some training for broadcast in the past for people to just get started with their YouTube channels. Much easier than you think it is. In fact, it's so easy to get onto YouTube with your phone, right? You basically just record a video and send it to your YouTube. That's it. It's there. So on that basis, it's pretty cool. All right. Are you back?
Hey, Dan. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, man.
Did you step out?
No, this time of day, it's kids going to bed, things like that. So I kind of was running around the house trying not to disturb my kids' schedule. And find out quite gosh.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Well, I know if they know you're on a broadcast, then they'll just run over and want to get on camera. So.
From time to time, Charlotte is definitely she likes the camera. The boys, they just like to make funny comments and walk away.
Is she still? Is she still doing Galactic Unicorn?
No, I'm a little hesitant. I don't feel entirely comfortable with her putting herself out there too much. And
I get you.
She has a great idea. She has a great idea, though, right? So I actually might let her do this. Is that she wants to go to dog shelters, right? And she wants to put on display the pets that are there, that are like homeless, right? They're going to be put to sleep.
Oh.
And put out a little broadcast for people so that they can see that, hey, this dog is here down in Long Beach or in Manhattan. And you
and then hold up in a month so they can go more around the world.
Oh, well, you've expanded that idea. I'm sorry, she wants to buy all the dogs and take them around the world. I don't think I'm going to let her do that, but
Uh-huh. With them, and then put colors on them, but they're not going to say a name. It's going to say "It's for sale."
Oh, that's very thoughtful.
So then, then people can buy them for just $5.
Okay, go on to bed. Go on to bed.
What I'm trying to find
So, okay, I'm on the phone though. Sorry, Dan.
It's okay. No. She's not stop. I got it.
I'm glad.
Sure, no, it's wonderful. That's why the children are so beautiful. They get that creative spirit, and you want to foster it. You want to make it grow and promote it. So I get it.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most natural things in the world. It's amazing that kind of an entrepreneurial spirit. I feel like it's so natural for kids, right? Because we're just naturally creators, right? So, just always looking at a way. And I love the way they think, because they're never looking at, limits of how to, what could limit this, right? Everything they talk about is completely without limits, right? So she wants to buy every dog in the world, walk all the dogs simultaneously, and have a special name tag that instead of their name, it says for sale. I'm like, that's brilliant, right? That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I can see why you'd want to have her do that. I mean, there's an aspect of protection. I mean, you can turn off the chat, right? You can protect her by just allowing her to go out with the information only and no way to get back. That would be one thing.
Yeah. I waffle on it. I mean, she has such a compelling personality, to be honest. And some of my kids are, similar like that. And I'm eccentric, right? Like when my sons were 6.
You're eccentric, really?
Yeah, a little bit, believe it or not. Yeah. So when my sons were 6, they wanted to kind of give back and help, right, at 6. And I really wanted to foster that. So instead of like, I guess a typical parent maybe would have taken like a soup kitchen or something, but I was uncomfortable with that. So I started a nonprofit for them. Right? We started doing our own nonprofit stuff so that I could make sure we were together too. So they're like the first 2 board members of my original company, which is actually called Hero Complex Creations. That was the original organization. So, and we made salvage furniture.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say, let's cut this off here, because I do got to take another trip and get to Manila again. But stay on the line because I want to chat with you for a few minutes before that, and we'll just say goodbye to everyone.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great night. I'll be here.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.